I have a certified accountant in the building today. Susan Mtana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mwikali.
We will not ignore money matters. December, people don't like to talk about money a lot.
Yes.
They just want to spend it.
Yes.
But we're not letting that happen, not this year. After what COVID imetuonyesha, we will save every little penny that we have.
Yes.
For a better tomorrow.
Sure.
But before we get into the conversations that we are getting into right now, Susan, maybe you can introduce yourself so that we know even where you're coming from with this conversation.
Okay, thank you so much, Mwikali. My name is Susan Mtana. I'm a certified public accountant of Kenya. And I'll say I just have passion to train in the areas of finance and management. And you find like why personal finance?
Yeah.
You find even at an individual level, anytime you don't have cash, you have some little headache, like it can destabilize you.
That is true.
And you find as the youth in Kenya, it's one way, it's an area that you're really struggling. So I thought, how about just creating this awareness, making people just the way people can be literate about a certain thing, have them be literate about financial management.
And that is a good, I think even the perspective that you brought out, most people will be keen on, I have a business, how do I run this business, where do I put the money, how do I put money back into the business?
Yes.
But when it comes to personal finance, then watu wanalegeza kamba kidogo.
Yes.
So why is this important for us to focus, and how do we even go about it? You're 20,000 at the end of the month or 50,000 at the end of the month. What do I need to know to be able to just, manage that?
Yes. So you cannot manage what you don't know.
Yes.
So in this case, when you talk about personal finances, you are just looking at money management at an individual level.
Yes.
In this case, do you even know your earnings? We have the people who maybe work and they know at the end of the month, this is what I'm expecting.
Yes.
But there are people who are in like the Juakali industries or maybe they're in businesses. You ask them, okay, how much do you make in a month? They're like, I don't know. So you need to know, first of all, how much am I making? But you find like as Kenyans, we are good at spending. Like we really know how to spend rather than even thinking about how to make that money.
Yes.
So in this case, and when I talk about personal financial management, I talk about just enlightening you to sit down, understand your earnings, understand your journey. I know everybody is at a certain point in their life, but let them understand, what are my finances? For example, how is my spending habit? How do I spend? Mostly we live beyond our means, and that pushes us to go into debt. So when I look at my debt statement, I can say maybe niko na deni ya Mwikali, but I may not like literally think of it as a debt. I'm just looking at the bank loan as a debt. But you find even that affects your day-to-day personal financial planning. When you talk about savings and investments, because there is a life today. And if you pray for long life, for example, you want to have a good life post-retirement. So what are you doing about that? Maybe right now you don't have a family, but at one point you may be having a family. So you find all those factors, they just lingle around the issue of personal finances. And if you don't have an insight to where you are at as an individual, you cannot manage what you don't know.
That is so true.
Yes.
So now that we know from that point,
Yes.
what are some of the habits that we need to have to be able to manage our finances well?
Okay, I'll talk about two broadly.
Okay.
One, I say spend less than what you earn.
Okay.
For example, if you're earning 100,000, Mwikali, don't go ahead and spend the 100,000. You won't have anything to save at the end of the day. And we have a principle, we say like pay yourself first. So, we think of rent as a bill, food as a bill, but we forget that I need to pay myself first. And paying myself first is not kurudishia mwili shukrani. It's not that route. It's about saving into your future, putting money aside to help you in a rainy day. So in this case, you need to spend below what you earn. And that will make room for you to save, and also it will make you avoid debt. Because if you overspend, if your spending is more than what you earn, it means it will push you to go into debt. So in this case, I'll normally tell people, spend less than what you earn or live below your means, so that you have room for you to have some saving. And also in terms of spending, maybe we'll talk about that when we talk about budgeting and all that.
Yes.
But there's the bit of spending. So most of us, we are very good at the spending bit. But in terms of the saving, the spending and the debt bit, just going into loans, we are so good. So I'll say that is the first key.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And because when you talk about us being able to save then and paying ourselves, and I like the fact that you said sikusema kwambia mwili pole,
Yes.
because I saw a meme going round. It's December and this two memes are everywhere.
Yes.
Ati, I am stuck between saving for the future and you only live once. You know, where you
Yes.
want to, I don't know if I'm going to be there tomorrow. Yes, I'm praying for a long life, but then I just want to enjoy whatever it is that I can enjoy now. And clearly, if you find yourself past retirement, na hauko umesave chochote, then you go back to, unajua state yenye si mzuri sana.
Yeah.
But when you talk about budgeting, how am I able to, are there percentages that will help me to be able to know if I'm earning the 100,000 that you talked about, then what percentage do I keep aside? How do I just break it down?
Okay, thank you for that, Mwikali. So I'll say, assuming you're earning 100,000, first of all, I want you to think net and not gross.
Yes.
You know, like if you are earning 100,000 in Kenya, there'll be deductions and you'll end up with less than that. So in this case, when you're talking about 100,000, you are thinking about net after the pay as you earn, or if you're in business, like after all the business costs and all that.
Yes.
So if you have 100,000, we have guiding principles, but I'll say it's not like, it's good to follow, but don't be rigid depending on your situation.
Yes.
So we really advise to have at least the 50, 30, and 20 rule. So for the 50, we are saying you need to categorize as you list down all your expenses. You know your expenses.
Yeah.
Then categorize, like, what are the must-haves? What are the needs? What are the needs that if I don't spend on them, I cannot survive, or they're crucial to my survival?
That's like rent.
Yes. So, for example, you need rent, you need food. If you don't eat, you'll starve.
You'll die.
And you'll die, yeah.
Yes.
So you find like the 50% allocated for the must-haves, the thing that you cannot do without. For example, you need to come to work. Either you are driving, you need fuel, either it's matatu, you need transport. So that is like a must-have, because it is one way that will help you to earn the income. So the must-haves allocate 50%.
Okay.
Why 50%? We are saying maybe, assuming on a bad day, maybe, like you see the way COVID came and things were bad, it is easy to try and raise the 50% and have the must-haves catered for. And then we have the 30% window. So the 30%, I'll say it is for once. The things like maybe for your luxury, maybe you want to subscribe to Netflix, maybe you want to go for entertainment and such kind. So you can have that 30% of your net be allocated to that. And then we have the 20%. So the 20% is the one you are saying paying yourself first. That is the saving, because you are saying you need to save. And you find like in Kenya, you've been brought up in that culture whereby you just like you find at the time maybe you got your first salary, maybe the saving thing was not in your mind. So there is that bit. It's more of, I'll say, a mindset issue, but you really need it. So I'll say it depends with your individual plans. For example, let me give this. For those Christians who believe in tithing, somebody will ask like, Susan, where should I get that 10%, for example? So for that person who believes that I need to tithe, so from the 100,000, let them pay God first, then whatever remains, now they apportion it to the 50, 30, 20.
Okay.
Maybe you are there, you're asking, Susan, I have a loan. So you find maybe some loans are like check off. So even whatever comes is after the loan has already been
So
deducted.
still whatever remains is what I do, the 50, 30, 20.
Yes.
Okay, I like that, because then you will not interfere after you've deducted everything that needs to be deducted. Whatever remains,
Yes.
that is what you use with the 50, 30, 20. And at what point do we do that? Do I do it after naona ni kama pesa inaenda kuisha chani tuweka 20% kale nilikuwa nimeambiwa, or when the money comes in, do I pay myself first? Or do I just wait? You know, kuna hiyo kitu ya nda save tu pesa itabaki.
Acha nikwambia hakuna kitu itabaki, hakuna siku pesa itatosha, because have you realized that it's like okay, at times we do jokes like unasema kwani watu wamenunusa M-Pesa yangu. It's like the moment salary comes in, there are emergencies, and emergencies will never end.
Yes.
So once you get that salary, take the 20% and keep it aside. And one thing I want you to understand is that the 20% saving is really affected by the degree of debt, because we'll tell you avoid debt, because if you don't have loans, it means you'll have a bigger room capacity to save. So it means your net will be high and it will enable you to save more. So I'll say once that money lands into your account. I have a colleague who says mshahara ikigia anasema nasikia kiburi imepanda. Then see him after 2 days.
Kunuka vibaya, by the way,
Yes.
Christmas goes like, what is that?
Yes. Then after 2 days he's like, my friend, hata maragwe pia ni chakula. So kiburi inashuka, unasema ni vizuri kukua humble. So I'll say in this life that you are living,
Yes.
money will never, you find even the millionaires, the billionaires, they keep on looking for money. So I say money is enticing and it will never be enough. So you just need to understand yourself in my financial journey. Where am I at as Susan? So as Mikali will say, okay, this is where am I at? And you decide like, let me take the 20%, I put it aside.
Yes.
Then you can decide to play around with the 30%, because the 30% is more of maybe entertainment issues, and you'll be like, or maybe you need to support, the social capital. Kuna baby shower mahali.
Yeah.
You need maybe to support, there's a funeral arrangement somewhere, maybe there's a medical fund drive somewhere. So that 30% is what you can try to play with. You can decide, okay, instead of 30, maybe let me squeeze a 10% I add to the savings and maybe reduce on my, let me forgo maybe going for golf.
Yes.
And channel that to saving. Yeah, you can manipulate with the 30% for entertainment.
Hey, may I hope you guys are taking notes, because it's Christmas and these conversations, sijui kama inaingia inatoka ama inaingia inakaa, but we will still continue having these conversations because they are needed. We're talking about your personal financing. How do you manage your own money? Have you encountered, hurdles along the way when you're trying to, save? And some people will be like, my business is not, up and running yet. It's not consistent. I'm not able to put money on the side as much as I'm not able to pay myself. What questions do you have when it comes to matters personal finances, budgeting, debts, and all of that put together? You can send in your questions to us, because Susan will be here after the break to answer all of them. And the SMS line is 111 444 111, and it's just going to cost you a shilling to do that. Find us on social media, Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We'll be right back after this break. Come back to Full Circle with Mikali. How are you doing? We are talking matters finances. How do you manage your finances, and what are some of the challenges that you have undergone while trying to do the same? What are you struggling with when it comes to, debts, loans, budgeting, saving, even making that business, up and